Hello my friend, if you're looking to speed up your workflow and get better sounding mixes from your home studio, and let's face it, who isn't, applying an EQ to your mix bus can be a great step forward. But I know a lot of people shy away from mix bus processing because if you're not sure what you're doing, it's really easy to stuff up your mix before you even get started. So I'm going to show you 3 specific mix bus EQ moves that are going to improve the sound of my mix. I'll show you why I'm using them, how I'm using them, and teach you what to listen out for so you can make better sounding mixes. Okay, so a couple of important things before we dive in and take a look at these frequency bands. Firstly, do your mix bus processing before you start processing any of your individual tracks. So you will have performed a static mix and got everything sounding balanced. Then's the time to start processing your mix bus. Secondly, much like mastering, a little goes a long way. So when you're processing your mix bus, you're doing the whole global mix. All of your tracks are going to get processed. So really you want to be looking at small incremental moves, half a dB, 1 dB moves. A little goes a long way. Finally, you can use any EQ you like on the mix bus. I'm using Frank CS, a channel strip. It's free from Analog Obsession because it's got a really neat trick up its sleeve. And that's how the EQ bands in Frank CS are emulating 3 famous EQs or consoles. We've got a Pultec for the low end, which is going to be very handy in a moment. We've got mid-range from API and a Neve high-end shelf. To get the most out of this channel strip, I'm also driving half a dB from this input gain. It's giving me a little bit of saturation, a bit of distortion, and that little bit of gluey compression, which is going to help to glue my mix bus together. So first off, let's look at our low end. I want to add some oomph and body to my mix. Anywhere around 60 Hertz. I'm going to bring in a small boost of half a dB. Let's take a listen. Girl, I wonder why these days I feel so alone. And on. See, I built this house. Off. But I never and on. It's really important as well to adjust your output when you're doing these boosts, so you're A-Bing with accuracy, also you're maintaining your gain staging. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to bring in some attenuation because Frank CS has this Pultec low end. And we can perform the Pultec trick, which is boosting, attenuating at the same time, which sounds kind of counterintuitive, but the overlapping curve of the attenuation brings in some clarity and focus to our low end, as well as, of course, that boost of the low end, bringing in the oomph and body. Let's take a listen. Girl, I wonder why. And off. These days I feel so alone. So now we've got a full, powerful low end with focus, just with one simple move on our channel strip. Let's move on to the mid-range. If you're enjoying the content, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe up to Real Home Studio here on YouTube. And if you want to get better mixes and learn more about using the channel strip, then grab my free channel strip cheat sheet guide from below this video. And for this, I'm looking at removing some boxy muddiness, which is built up from recording in a typical boxy home studio room. Let me show you what that sounds like. We're looking anywhere around 300 to 500 Hertz. Girl, I wonder why these days I feel so alone. When you hear that boxy muddiness at its worst, you can make a small cut. Once again, I'm going half a dB. Let's take a listen. See, I built this house, but I never made it at home. And on. Now I'll be a prisoner, I won't be a slave. And finally, let's move on to that high-end shelf. For this, you're looking anywhere between 10K and 40K, depending on your EQ's capabilities. This one goes up to 15, so let's take a listen to what that sounds like. We're listening out for a high-end, glossy sheeniness. I'm going to pull it right up so you can hear it in its extreme. Girl, I wonder why these days I feel so alone. See, I built this house, but I never made it at home. Once again, just a half a dB. Now I'll be a prisoner, I won't be a slave. I worked hard for this girl. Let's listen with the EQ off. These days I feel so and with it on. See, I built this house, but I So that's 3 frequency bands you can apply as a guide next time when you're working on your mix bus. Of course, every mix is different. Use this as a guide. Listen to what's working within your mix, and I'll see you next time.